Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about what I'm learning about loving myself. And I realize that most of my life, I've always known that I was here to love. Most of my life, though, I poured all that love out to other people around me in the best way I knew how. And when you're pouring out of an empty cup all the time, it doesn't have the effect of what it can be. And that's where I'm understanding right now that the most important thing that I can do is fill my cup and learn how to love myself. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, and Jesus said in the Bible, he said, love your neighbor as yourself. And I understand that what I'm learning is that my neighbor is everyone that's not me, and starting with my family. And I know now that the best way that I can pour out that love to everyone is to pour it into myself first. And that's what I'm learning how to do right now. And I guess if you feel like this is where you are in your life, then this is probably going to resonate with you, and I hope it does. And if it does, I hope that you can begin to see things changing in your life too. You know, the way I used to do it, I mean, those of you that know me from the Florida Keys, that was a good time in my life when I realized that everyone that knew me down there, like my customers, they were my friends. Like, even, and then my friends, they were my customers. I worked on, I worked a lot, you know, and it was brought to my attention even recently from my kids, you know, like, you just worked all the time, Dad. And that's the truth. And that was my way of pouring out my love, you know, to prove my worthiness, to make myself feel, you know, accepted in whatever way. And I was giving out of an empty cup, even though it was the best I had at the time. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to take care of Brian. And not saying that I know how to do it yet. I'm learning, and I'm getting better at it. And all that energy that I had always poured out to everything else around me, and I tried my best for my family. I know it was ugly. Instead of realizing that my family simply close to me was just holding up a mirror for me to see my reflection and where I needed to grow, I just punch out the mirror and break it and scream at it and yell at it. But I don't do that anymore. I just accept it for what it is, and I'm learning to see the reflection and where I need to grow. But now I'm realizing that love, it starts on the inside. Like, the only way that I could really give the whole part of me is by filling that cup first, like doing that. And the way I'm learning how to do it, in the old way, it was to just pour myself as much as I could. Now I understand that I just want all that to just pour back into Brian. And from there, I can just let it emanate first to my family, you know, like heal those relationships as well as they can be, and like, and then my extended family, and then, you know, the world, and I can just pour that out. And it's really wonderful because the further away you get with someone you barely meet, you know, they don't know all your history, it's so easy to pour that love into them. But now I understand how important it is for me to pour that love right directly around me. The only way I can do that, I've discovered, is by protecting my frequency and my energy and all that, because our thoughts become things, and when our energy's all discombobulated, our thoughts can get pretty disastrous, I guess that's a good way to put it. I know from my own life. And that's lately what I've been seeing. Just I'll give an example. A couple months ago, back in June, I went and saw Esther Hicks in West Palm Beach, and oh my gosh, it was so cool. And I met just some incredible people, and one of the ladies that was sitting next to me, I just instantly bonded with, and we after the you know, the whole thing was over, there was a bunch of stuff going on, because that the Palm Springs deal is like huge, and there's the convention center, and so there's a bunch of wellness stuff going on, and this guy came up to us, and like, this dude was huge, like, and I got his number in my phone. I can't remember his Billy. I can't remember, but like, I looked at him and I'm like, dude, when I get really famous, will you be my bodyguard? And he's like, yeah, you know, like, we're same era, you know, Gen Xers, and he's like, yeah, man, yeah, I'll protect you. You know, this dude's huge. Anyway, we go. He's like, let's go check this thing out upstairs. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the lady I was with, just like, yeah. So we go upstairs, and the door opens, and it's just like, ugh, this energy comes out of the door. Like, I mean, it was dark in there, kind of spooky looking anyway, but the energy that I felt at that moment, especially after I'd been so high frequency with Abraham and all the stuff that was happening, and the whole Esther Hicks deal, which is amazing. If you ever get a chance to see her, go do it. And I was just like, and I was choking, and I told the lady, and I told my bodyguard, I was like, no offense, I just can't go in that room. It's just not, I can't. And she looked at me, she's like, what? Yeah, this looks cool, you know? And I'm like, no, not, I mean, go ahead. I'm like, you're welcome, no problem. But that was one of the first times that I saw something energetically hit me at my frequency's core, and it was like, nope. And I'm really proud of myself, because in the past, in my people-pleasing nature, I know I've changed, because in the past, I would have just said, okay, yeah, let's go, you know, like, but went, and then God only knows what would happen. I mean, it could have been totally harmless, but again, it's just like, I guess the things that are no longer serving me, they're just, the energy is getting strong, and so I'm starting to pay more attention to that, because I've fallen in love with myself, you know, like, I really enjoy me and who I am, and like cultivating my heart and like all that stuff, and learning the truth that, you know, sometimes saying no is the best way to love yourself. You know, a lot of my friends in the racing world know that. Like, when that track, I mean, and guys, just a side note to all, if, you know, my motorcycle world folks, if that track is shit, don't race on it. You know, I know you got obligated. You need to have, when your agents, like Lucas Myrtle, all those guys, there needs to be something in the contract that gives you veto power. Like, hey, if this track is, if I feel it's unsafe, I don't have to race. I'm not going to put myself in that position. And the higher up you are on the hierarchy of the, you know, stars of racing, the more power you have to put that in your contract. So anyway, saying no is an act of self-love. That's what I'm learning. And when we do that, it's okay. It's okay. And now I understand, because I'm beginning to give from a full cup. And keep in mind too, like it's a tough job to stop that locomotive of no, you know, I'm not worthy, bullshit, whatever. Ask me how I know. But now, you know, and it takes a bit to get that locomotive rolling back the other way. And so I just want you to know, if you've ever felt in these positions of like, whoa, you know, just say no, love yourself, do what you got to do to protect your frequency, because it pays off. And in the end, it's all about you, so you can give. And that's what we're here. You know, the Bible says God is love. We're here to do that. We're here to love. We're here to God. And if this resonates with you, you know, just put the little palm tree, you know, logo in the comments or something. And just, you know, and also I want to encourage you, put in the comments what you're doing to love yourself now, you know, truly. Maybe it's just a walk, maybe it's a cup of coffee at a nice coffee shop, or a pedicure, mani, whatever. Just put that in the comments. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is step one, right? What I'm doing, I'm really protecting my frequency, my resonance, all that stuff. I see now how important that is going forward. And if you know anybody that needs to hear this, just share it with them, you know. And yeah, you know, you want to subscribe to this channel if this comes across your feed. There's going to be more stuff like this, you know, just me openly talking about what I'm going through and what I'm doing to really live the life that I've always dreamed of. So that's all I got for now. Peace.